So before we jump into the actual video, I thought I will quickly show you my setup. So I have two acrylic drawers on this side and I have a huge mirror in here, which you can just see the top of my head in. And then on that side I have a few cups and jars just with my makeup brushes in there, and I always have a hand cream on the side and loads of papers in the background. And I usually have some stuff on this side as well. As you can see, I could have tidied it away, but this is the tidiest it gets, I'm gonna be honest. So this is just the usual setup. I have a huge tabletop in front of the window, so I have plenty of light coming in when I get ready. And then I have two IKEA Alex drawers, one on this side and then one on the other side, just holding it up. And they each have 5 drawers. Now on this side, it's only the top 2 drawers that I have makeup in, and then on that side, it's all 5 drawers. So that's just really works for me. And then I usually have my chair in front of it that's sporting a sausage dog. Nice little throw at the moment because I was cold yesterday. And basically, that's my setup, and that's where I keep all my things. So now that you've seen this, we can hop into the main part of the video. Hello guys, this is Sandra here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So again, you will know from the title what this is, but today I'm gonna show you my makeup collection. And I thought that, you know, why not? We're all home, we all have time. So I might as well talk you through it. There are also a few things that I decluttered that are on the side, that's why I'm looking there, that I'm going to show you at the end of this video. Now there will be 2 parts. This is the one that you're watching now is the first part, and I'm going to show you the decluttered bits at the end of the second one. So if you want to see that, please come back for that. It's only a few items, and also while we're going through my collection, I'm going to tell you how much of each item I have. So it's sort of a makeup inventory and collection 2 in 1, because I thought it makes sense and I sort of wanted to know just for myself how much I have of each item. So we're gonna do that. My hair is a bit wet at the moment, it's just drying, so don't mind it. Also, if you like this makeup look, I'm gonna link it up in the cards. It's one of my Use Them Shadows series with the Morphe 35B palette. So yeah, if you want to see that, it's gonna be linked up in the cards below. And before we get into the video, let me just say that I've been a makeup lover for years and I work in makeup, but also I freelance for a few years. So there are bits that I haven't necessarily used on myself in the past, but now that I'm not really doing that just because I don't have time, I sort of moved it over into my personal collection, the bits that I can use, and I will explain to you how I will use them. Other parts that are just left on the side, and I don't know, I'm sure I will find some use for it. But yeah, basically that's why I have so much makeup, and I just love makeup. I don't think it's too much, but it's quite a few drawers full, so I think it's more than like a natural collection, but it's not as big as some other people's here on YouTube. But yeah, I just love makeup. So without further ado, let's hop into it, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it. One more thing, I think I forgot to film an outro, so if you enjoy this video at the end, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think. And if you want to see a video with something, please let me know as well. And yeah, that's it. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. It would mean so much for me. But for now, I'm gonna go enjoy the video and grab a drink because it's gonna be a long one. Yeah, that's it. See you. Alright guys, so we're gonna start with these 2 sections that are on the top of my table. I think one of them is from Muji and the other one is from TK Maxx or Amazon. I can't remember, I'm really sorry. You can find these acrylic drawers at this point everywhere, so I'm sure you can find one. So on top of this I have this Living Proof dry shampoo. It's just a mini version, it's actually really nice. So in the mornings if I need it, it's just quite quick and easy, and it's right in front of me. And then on top of it, let me scooch it closer. So I have a Jeffree Star Mini Breaker palette. I love this palette, but most of my eyeshadows you've already seen in my eyeshadow palette collections. I'm gonna link it up in the cards. I also have a mini Z palette. It's just a really nice peachy kind of nudie color. And inside it you have a Benefit Bella Bamba blush. These 3 colors are from my Naked 2 palette. This is from a Sleek palette, and then those 3 are Benefit shadows as well. These palettes on the top are just the ones that I either try to use more or the ones that I reach for on a daily basis. The next one is the Juvia's Place Mini Magic palette, and that's how that looks on the inside. It's a beautiful palette, and I'm just trying to make sure that I get more use out of it, and that's why I keep it out there on top. And then the last one is another Z palette. This is just a bigger one, and it looks a bit used and abused. So again, here there are some Benefit blushes, and these are all from like a Cheekathon kind of palette. You know how they release one every single year at Christmas. So you have Rocateur, Dandelion, Sugar Bomb, and then that one is Coralista. It's just a single L'Oreal blush, and then there's a Max Factor Quad. That's a Benefit eyeshadow, no, not eyeshadow, eyebrow powder. You have a NARS eyeshadow as well that honestly I don't love that much, but oh well. And it got a bit destroyed, as you can see, when I deputted it. Then that one in the corner is a MAC blush in the shade Harmony, which is really nice as a bronzer. And then those 4 are just some random eyeshadows that I deputted and decided to keep there. And in this Z palette I have all my products that are singles but non-cruelty free, so it's a bit easier to see through for me. And I just try to get some use out of them basically. So all of those just live on the top, and I know it looks a bit dusty. They get clean, I promise, but it just gets dusty so quickly, especially because I have a lovely big window there. If I turn it a bit, so, you know, if I open it, which I do a lot lately because the weather is so nice, they get a bit dirty. And then if we move down and open the first drawer, let me just reposition you. So in the first drawer, I basically just have all my gel liners in the front, a few lipsticks that are too fancy to keep in the drawers, but they are too big to fit anywhere else, as sad as that sounds, and the camera is sliding, hold on. So on the top we have a Bobbi Brown gel liner. This one is just a brown shade. I had it for a really long time. It's, you know, nothing special, and I might have to throw it away soon. We'll see. I recently moved it around just to see if I can revive it. Then we have this red one, which is from Inglot. You can see it's a bit cracked. It's because it's a bit old, but I can still revive it, so it works fine. Same with this one, which is from Inglot as well. It's just the white version of it. And then I have another Inglot one, which is the Powerpuff Girl collection, and it's just a black one basically. Same formula. And then I also have a lovely sky blue color. This one is from Kryolan. Then I have 2 solutions in here. One of them is the Inglot Duraline, and the other one is the Illamasqua Sealing Gel, I think. Yes, so basically these are both perfect if I want to turn some eyeshadows into liners, or if my liners are a bit dried out, like you've seen with the Inglot ones that they crack, and they tend to do that quite quickly. But, you know, just a drop of these, it revives it again and you can use it, so these little heroes save a lot of money. Now, as far as I know, Inglot is not cruelty-free anymore because they can't confirm that their ingredients are not tested on animals, which is a shame, but you still have the Illamasqua one, so... I mean, it's not the cheapest. I think this little bottle is £8, but I had it for ages, and, you know, it will do you a lot of good. Then we have all my liquid liners, and I don't have a lot of them. So let's start with these 3. These 3 are neon liners from Stargazer. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure I used all of these 3 in a tutorial before, but I'm gonna quickly swatch them for you. So that's the yellow, that's the orange. And obviously you can layer these up so they look a lot more vibrant. And then that's the green. I think I haven't used the yellow one yet, so I just need to find a look that it works with. But that's what they look like. They are quite inexpensive and they work amazingly, so I highly recommend them. Then everyone knows these ones. They are the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liners, and I love them. I got them for Christmas, and especially with this one, you can see they are already quite heavily used. So this one is Midnight Cowboy. Then this one is Volume, this pink one. And then the last one, which is this more coppery one, is Starfire. All three of these are brilliant. I mean, look at that glitter. They are just so pretty. And another one that actually is beautiful as well as this one. This is from Collection. Alright, sorry, I had to reposition the camera because the other tripod kept sliding and obviously that's not ideal. So here we go again. So this one is the Collection Glam Crystals little liner, and it's another glitter liner. It's beautiful. Again, you can build it up, but these are wonderful, and there's not that many shades of these. Let me just put the light closer. There's not as many shades of these. I think there's only like a gold and a silver, and then maybe, I'm not too sure, I think a white. So it's not as many from this as from everything else, but it's beautiful. And I think it's definitely worth the money. I think they're only like £3 or something ridiculous like that. So you can't really go wrong with that. Then you have another two liners here. There's another liquid liner by Inglot. This is just in a silver shade. It's nothing special. It's an okay liner, but you know. I mean, I can show you, but you've seen this probably featured in many of my videos before. And it's quite nice if you want to have like a cut crease, and it works well as a shadow as well. I mean, look at that glow. That's quite pretty. Such a shame that Inglot is not cruelty free anymore. And then we just have the Kat Von D tattoo liner. This is not new to anyone. I do like it. I got it for Christmas, but I used it before as well. It is beautiful. And then I have 4 lipsticks in here. There are 3 from Tom Ford. These 2 were limited edition a few years ago, and one of them is this pink shade, which is called Paradiso, which is one of my absolute most favorite lipsticks, but it's a bit broken, so I need to be gentle with it. And then you have another one that's called Sweet Pot, I think, yes, and this one is a bit more of a peachy color. Then we have the darkest one, which is just from the regular line, and it's called Dahlia. This was in my Lust for Lux project pen, so I'm sure you've seen this one before. And then the last one is the Kendall Jenner collection with Estée Lauder. This is from quite a few years ago, and that's a typical orangey shade that's like MAC Lady Danger, I would say, is the closest to it. It's beautiful. I unfortunately don't use it often. I don't know why. I think it's just because I have a few other lipsticks, oh, I made it mess, that are exactly the same shade. So I don't often reach here just because it's quite far away, but you know, it is beautiful. And I'm sure at some point I will get some good use out of it. It's still a beautiful formula even years later, so I'm sure I will get some good use out of it at some point, or at least that's what I keep telling myself. Then the next drawer down is just some lip balms basically. So these 2 are from The Body Shop, and I have one that's a strawberry one, and the other one is just a, what flavor or scent is that, watermelon? Yeah, watermelon. I'm not sure why watermelon is this color, but you know, they're quite nice. It's quite nice over just a lip liner, or just even by itself if you want a quite neutral look. Then this one is the Dr. Paw Tinted Peach Lip Balm. This is actually really nice, and recently I see them popping up in more and more places. I think Beauty Bay actually has a set of just 3 of the mini versions, which is quite nice. I had this for years, but it still works great. It's probably a bit expired, but you know, I only use this on myself, so that's fine. Then I have one from Carmax, which again is just a really nice neutral pink. It gives a little bit of a tint, but nothing overly obnoxious. Then I have 3 chubby sticks from Clinique, and I used to have another one as well, but I don't know where that went. 2 of them are from the Baby Tint range, and I have a purple one and the pink one, and I think I used to have a 3rd one as well, because I bought them in a little trio around one Christmas a few years ago, but I don't know what happened to the 3rd one, honestly. So I'm not sure where that went. They're nice. I don't think they're anything that special. I have to say I don't fully understand the hype around these. And then the last one I have was, I think, a magazine freebie, and it's one of the original chubby sticks. And this one is in the shade Whooping Watermelon. I quite liked it, but again, I'm trying to use this up. I don't have a lot left of it. And I don't fully get the hype around it. It's a nice tinted balm, but you know, I don't know. I remember when these were all the rage on YouTube. Why? Not sure. Then I have a lip balm that I actually used not so long ago in my working from home tutorial. I'm gonna link it in the corner. And this is just a really natural ingredient color lip balm. It has a really nice subtle tint to it. I got this from Holland & Barrett. I'm not sure where else you can get it. It just gives a really nice tint. It smells and tastes amazing. I think it's because it's just raw ingredients. So it has, what does it have in it? Watermelon, mango, coconut and aloe vera. So it's really nice ingredients. If you are someone who likes natural beauty, this might be a really good option for you if you can get your hands on it. I think they have other colors as well. They might even have one that's not tinted. I'm not too sure. And then I still have one of these baby lips again. Remember when these were all over the place? I remember when I was younger and I was watching Bethany Mota and she kept using this. Oh, that just brings me back to some special times. That's it with the second drawer as well. And in the bottom, I just have some single eyeshadows. So some NARS, Charlotte Tilbury, Catrice, a balm, and then an Inglot duo of 2 grey shadows, and then Urban Decay Natural Collection, and then 2 really intense Stargazer pigments. Now I'm not gonna dive into these because I have these again in my eyeshadow collection. So I'm gonna, again, as I mentioned before, link it in the cards, but there's not much point in spending a lot of time on these because this video will be already super long and I already talked about those. And then we're gonna move on to the smaller acrylic drawer, and basically this one as well and the other one, I think that was a letter holder. I just used some blue tack to keep it on top of these, and as you can see, they hold really well. So a lipstick holder I think is from Amazon or from TK Maxx, not fully sure. But this just has some of the lipsticks that are my favorites. It's mostly the bulk of my high-end lipsticks as well. So we have 2 from Urban Decay. One of them is a metallic one in the shade Bobby Dazzle. And this one is more just like a clear lipstick. If you look at it, it's a bit melted. This has been like this since I bought it. It melted a little bit after that, but basically this is a lipstick that looks like a lip gloss but has the feel of a lipstick. It's brilliant and I should use it a lot more than I do. Then the second one, I bought it together with a lip liner, and I only bought this because it's called 1993, and guess who was born in 1993? Yep, I was. It's just a really typical 90s brown, surprise, surprise. It's a beautiful formula as well, and this is a time when I realized I should get a lot more use out of these products than I normally do. Then the next one is my only Aveda lipstick, and this one is called Mulberry. And it's so pretty. It's really comfortable. It's a plummy pinky shade and I love these type of shades. The packaging is quite nice as well. It's like this tin kind of feel. Aveda is quite good when it comes to ingredients and being kind to nature. So if it's important to you, I would say check these out. Then I have a few of my MAC lipsticks in here. So the first one will be Patisserie, which is not new to anyone. It's just a beautiful nude. Then the next one is Giddy, which I don't ever hear anyone talking about, but it's a really nice typical pink. And as you can see, it's a bit worse for wear as well, like most of my lipsticks at this point. And let me just show you. It's a really nice natural pink. I don't know why no one ever talked about this. This was, I think, my first MAC lipstick after like a limited edition Rihanna one, and I loved it. Then this is Lady Danger. Again, this is really similar to the Estee Lauder one that I was showing you earlier. Also, I'm trying to figure out the focus on this camera. I already filming this the second time around because the first time around I had about an hour of footage and half of it was blurry, so I'm trying to do a better job of it this time. Then I have 2 Becca lipsticks in the back. One of them is a limited edition from the Chloe and Malika collection. And it's Hot Tamale, and basically again it's like a Lady Danger kind of color. Then the next one is a red that's called Garnet, and it's quite a nice classic red. I do love this, and they are really nice and hydrating. They are super comfortable to wear, and listen, sorry, so satisfying. Then one of my absolute favorites again is this Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks in the shade Amazing Amalia. And I broke this. If you remember the first impressions, I'm pretty sure that's the video where I break it in. But oh, it's so beautiful. The camera doesn't do it any justice, and my lighting, but it's so comfortable to wear. It's such a beautiful color. One of these days I think I'm gonna crack it out in a tutorial because it's beautiful. Then this one was, I think, originally limited edition, and now it's part of the regular line, I'm pretty sure. It's the shade The Queen, and I think it came out for the Queen's birthday or something. I'm gonna swatch it there. It's quite similar to that Aveda lipstick, it's just a more opaque version of it, and a tiny bit deeper. I would say somewhere between this one and that one. It's beautiful. And then I have two of the Fenty Poutsicles, and these are so much fun. I got one of them from my boyfriend, and I bought the other one because in the shop I couldn't decide, so he put me out of my misery. So this one is the shade Sun Snatched, and it's the most vibrant orange you've ever seen. Not sure how much it comes across the camera. And the other one is just a really pretty pink, and that's in the shade Hot Blooded. And it's so nice. It's one of those typical summery pinky reds. It's sort of like a cherry reddy pinky color, if it makes sense. I think you can all see a color theme here. It's beautiful though. It's really nice. If we move down to the first drawer, this is just what holds my mascaras. So my favorite one is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. Then we have a collection one. Then these are the two minis that I talked about in my Sephora order. So this is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara and the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. Those two I haven't opened yet. And then these two are my Kiko mascaras. So this one is just a really lovely blue one and a pastel purple. The pastel purple is from NYX. I'm not that keen on that. It might work better in other colors. The pastel one doesn't work that well. But that Kiko mascara, it's so good, especially for the price. I think it was only like £5 or something like that. It's beautiful. But again, for mascaras, I think that's enough. At the end of this video, in the second part, I'm going to talk you through all my inventory. I think it's easier than trying to talk you through while I'm going through each category, because not everything is in the same place. So I find it's just going to be a bit easier that way. Then the drawer down from there are all my liners, and I find that this setup is really easy for me if I want to reach for one of these, because everything is really easy to find. So let me just get them out and then we can go through them one by one as I put them back. I also just have some little sharpener in the back that's from Stila, and it's double-ended, and I just dropped the pencil. Hold on. So the one that fell is actually one of my favorites. It's from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's in the shade Black Magic. It's sort of black, but it has a hint of green to it, and it has a little bit of a sparkle. I really like it. It came in a duo with my Snow Leopard Charlotte Tilbury shadow. Then there's one from Sigma called Indigo Bird, which obviously is a blue. It's okay. The formula is nice. The color is not my favorite. Then there's this Isadora one, which I bought in the summer, and it's just a really nice nude liner. I don't use it as often as I wanted to because sometimes I feel like it irritates my eyes. I'm not too sure what's the deal. My eyes are a bit more easier to irritate these days than it used to be, so I will have to see. And then one of my absolute favorites that I got from my friend, and again, at this point, I'm pretty sure he's been in quite a few videos, is, oops, the Linda Hallberg Happy Mood Pencil, and hold on. Bam. I mean, how can you not love that? Look at that vibrant yellow. It looks quite nice next to that orange. It's such a nice, comfortable formula. It works well in the waterline, it works well on the eyes. I think I want to pick up a few more colors from this. Especially I'm looking at the red one for some reason, not sure, and the green one. I don't know, I like weird colors. And then talking of green, I got this not so long ago. It's the Kiko Intense Color in the shade 11. And it's this beautiful greeny color. I mean, look at that. Oh, there's a bit of a satiny sheen to it. So if you're into more just matte liners, this is not going to be the one for you. But it's so beautiful. Then I have this one from Kiko, which was a limited edition. It's just a really nice purple. I really like Kiko eyeliners. This one you've seen in tutorials lately as well, I think at some point. This is the Kohl Pencil 11 from Kiko. It's really annoying that these don't have names. And this is like a purpley, browny, burgundy, but more purpley kind of color. It's beautiful. It works really nice, almost as a brown. It just gives a bit of definition without it being too much. Then another new one from Kiko that I got quite recently is this Lasting Precision Automatic Eyeliner and Kohl. Why was that so hard to say? In the shade number 7. And let me show you how it looks on the eyes. That was so hard to open. I don't think I used it on my eyes yet. I should. It's so creamy, and that color, oh, so nice. It has a slight purple tint to it as well, so it would work, I think, with purple shadows as well. It looks beautiful, and it's so creamy. Then I have here a grey one from Smashbox, a black one from number 7. This is the Stay Perfect Amazing Eyes Pencil. This is actually really good. It stays so well in the waterline. And there's this one from Essence that I don't love too much, but I can't, for some reason I can't get rid of it. It's the Essence Effect Eye Pencil, and it's a gold. It has its moments, but it doesn't work the best. But I want to keep it for maybe an eyeshadow base, and then if it doesn't work, I'm gonna get rid of it. Then one of my other favorites, I know I say it quite a bit, but this is the Urban Decay 24x7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Love Drug. So this was part of the Naked Cherry collection, and I'm not sure where else to swatch. I should take off these lipstick swatches, but look at that. How can you not like that? It's beautiful. It works with so many pinky looks, and even by itself. Then I have another green one from Essence, which is quite nice, and their names are always quite funny. This one is called I Have a Green. Then I have a Color Trend one from Avon, which is okay. It's not perfect, but it works. And then I have this pink one from Barry M that's quite nice as a lip liner as well. If I use it on my lips, I just always make sure to sharpen it before I put it back, so next time I use it on my eyes, it's nice and sanitary. And on the bottom, I just have my lip liners. So again, let me get them out and then we can go through them. It's a bit easier. Alright, so let's start with the two Becca ones because these are easy to spot. Whoops! So my only typical red at the moment is this one, which is the Becca lip liner in the shade Playful. And it's such a nice, typical red. There we go, it's beautiful. And what I like about these is as well that at the end it has a little smudger. But also if you pull it out, it has a little sharpener, so even though it's an automatic pencil, if you feel like it's not sharp enough anymore, then you can sharpen them. And one of my favorite nudes at the moment, and I love it with like a champagne lip gloss, is the shade Blissful. Why am I struggling? It's a beautiful nude and it goes with so many looks. I absolutely adore this. Moving on to Charlotte Tilbury, I have 3 of the liners in here. One of them is the typical shade Pillow Talk, which look how tiny it is. I mean, all of them are quite well used, but I love Pillow Talk. It's almost exactly the same shade as my lips, so it works perfectly if I want to overline a bit or if I just want a really natural look. Works perfectly for that. Then the next one I have is Iconic Nude, which the name perfectly describes it. It's a really nice cool toned nude. It works with so many shades as well. Actually, it doesn't look like cool tone now, but it's perfect. This one also went through the wash. It was in the pocket of my denim jean jacket. Denim jean jacket? Denim jacket. Yeah, denim jacket. That's the one, Sandra. And it survived, so that's great. And then this one I used to have in my kit mainly for deeper skin tones. And this one is called, I think, Foxy Brown? Foxy Lady? Foxy Brown. And on me it looks a bit of a poop colour, I'm not gonna lie, but every once in a while I still like to rock it, so you know, it sort of works. But this is not a shade I use quite often, but it's still quite a lot smaller than it used to be. Then the only Urban Decay liner I have is, as I mentioned, I got it with my lipstick, and it's the shade 1993. See, all these nudes are different. They're all different. By the way, the Urban Decay one, beautiful formula, glides on so easily, so comfortable to wear. And if we continue with the nudes, I have this one from NYX, which is the Suede lip liner in the shade London. Again, it's different. Ready? See? They're all different. And then I also have the shade Sao Paulo, I think. Yeah, Sao Paulo, which is the pink one, and then Life is a Beach, which is a really nice peachy, corally kind of color. And with these ones, if you don't use it for a while, the tip gets this weird white layer. I'm sure that's not great, but you know, I just usually sharpen it if I want to use it, and it's fine. Again, I only use this on myself, so don't panic, it's fine. My absolute favorite from NYX are these ones though. These are the Slide On Glide On pencils. What's wrong with me? There we go. Again, you can see which ones I use more often. So there's this one, which is called Bed Rose, which is actually quite similar to Pillow Talk, which I didn't swatch, but there we go. It's quite a good option. It's not exactly the same. Let me show you. But it's not far. It's not far at all. Bed Rose is just a bit more pink. And actually, Blissful is not too far either. It's just a touch darker. And then I also have Brick House, and then this one, which is called, I can see the name, Rosy Sunset, and it's such a nice, like, corally, peachy color. The colors are really not coming through the camera, even though I have a light here, it just doesn't seem to work much, but the shades are beautiful. If you are looking for a lip liner that's quite creamy but affordable, look at these NYX ones. They are great. And another lip liner that's really underrated and I never hear anyone talking about is the Kevyn Aucoin Flash Tone Lip Pencil. I have mine in the shade Blossom, which is just a lovely pink. I love this. It's so comfortable. It's so nice. I would say it's not like the MAC lip liner formula, but it's just as good, and at least it's cruelty free. So if you see these, give them a swatch. They are great. Then going back to more affordable liners, I have two from Kiko, a purple and like a peachy, corally kind of color. It's not zooming in the camera, but never mind. Again, these don't have names, and I'm not even sure they do these anymore. These are the Smart lip liners, and I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. They change these around so often. And I have this more peachy one. They are really pretty, and they're quite comfortable for the money. You know, no complaints whatsoever. Then I have this deep vampy color from Milani that's called something plum, sugar plum, and it's beautiful. It's that typical fall and autumn color that you just want to crack out at that time of the year. And I have two from Essence, one that's called something with a gray, oh, Sucker for Gray. So it's like a nice gray purple. Oh, and it was freshly sharpened. It's quite a nice color, but again, unless you're wearing a really cool toned look, it's not really working. And then I have this really bright pink that has a hint of purple to it. That's more of a, like an automatic lip pencil, and this is the Stay 8 Hour lip liner. Apparently it's waterproof. I haven't tested yet, and it's in the shade... Why am I struggling with that? Oh, and this has a sharpener as well. It doesn't have the smudger like the Becca one, but it has a sharpener, so that's pretty good for the price. And I can't find the name, guys. I'm sorry. But again, Essence changes these around quite quickly, so I don't know if you could still find them. And that's all my two acrylic drawers, and I'm gonna move you down to a drawer that's a bit messy, but I didn't want to tidy it up for just the video, so, you know, excuse that. Also, I just realized I was missing this teeny tiny Charlotte Tilbury mascara from the mascara drawer, and then also this Milani foiled eyeliner, just because I had this out the other day. It's really, really nice. As you can see, it has a little bit of a dip in there, but again, it's an eyeliner. There's only that much you can use, but I really enjoy this. I don't think they do these anymore though, for some reason, but it's beautiful. So as you would have seen from the opening scene, I have two Alex IKEA drawers, both the 5 ones, but like the 5 drawer ones, if it makes sense. And on one side it's fully occupied by makeup, but on the other side it's only the top 2 drawers. So this one, it's a bit of a messy one. Okay, might be a bit easier for you to see that way. So basically in this drawer, there's a bit of skincare on that side, and then this is my project pen and like everyday moisturizer kind of bits. and then some nail bits and some masks. So in this one, it used to house a Too Faced Diamond Light highlighter, which I still have, but this is just the box that it came in, and it just has some little lipstick samples, so some Charlotte Tilbury ones, and then those tiny ones are from Avon, and I just like to keep it in here so it doesn't clutter everything else. Then in the back it has this Alamis pouch that just has different face masks in there. So a few from like Superdrug, and then it has like an ordinary one. It also has, ooh, my eyes sweat hour than 8-hour cream balm. I'm not sure how it got there. And it has like a pimple treatment from Medicaid and just loads of little miscellaneous face masks. I also have 2 sausage dog reusable hand warmers because I didn't know where else to put them. And it has some nail files and, you know, some of my headbands that you usually see me wearing in videos, and usually my Puds ears are on top here as well. Then in the back I just have some nail stickers and some little blings that I hardly use on my nails, but in case I want to, it's there. And then I also have a nail polish remover in there and some more bits and bobs for nails. And then I also have these reusable cotton pads, which the blue ones I exclusively use for my nails. And then usually in this pouch I have the clean ones for my face, but those are all dirty at the moment. They are just either washed or being washed soon, so it's empty at the moment. Then behind it, it has my facial SPF, which is one from Aveda. It's quite nice, but I feel like it makes my face look a bit grey, but you know, it's alright. Then it has an Estèe Lauder Advanced Night Repair Serum as well. I don't think it does much for me, but again, I'm not sure it's targeted for my age group really, but I keep using it. I'm not sure it does a lot. It has 2 facial sprays in there as well, both from Mario Badescu. The green one is the aloe vera cucumber and green tea, and then it has the pink one, which is the aloe, herbs and rose water. As you can see, they're both quite well loved, but I use these more as a little moisturizing spritz throughout the day, just because I feel like it doesn't necessarily do a lot for my makeup unless I just do it too powdery. I want to tone it down. In that case it's fine, but I feel like these are more skincare bits rather than setting sprays, and that's why they live in this drawer as well. I have to say this is a bit of a miscellaneous messy drawer. Not a headband. And then it also has my Charlotte Tilbury Goddess Skin Clay Mask. If you watched my, I think this was in my Lust for Luxe project pen as well, link up in the cards, then you've seen this. I was penning it, and as you can see, it went okay, but I clearly didn't finish it, and actually this one should be in my little skin mask pouch. And then my eye cream at the moment, which is the Ren Keep Young and Beautiful Firm and Lift Eye Cream. I am pretty sure I talked about this before. You've seen this in empties before. I went through quite a few tubes of this, and I really like it. Then my current moisturizer is the Sunday Riley Tidal Brightening Enzyme Water Cream. This is really nice. I mean, obviously it's quite pricey as well, but you don't need a lot of it, to be fair, so I do highly recommend it. My skin is more like a combination to dry, so it really enjoys it, and it's a bit dehydrated as well, so I feel like this gives it enough moisture. And it's so weighty as well. It definitely feels like a luxury item, and well, it comes with a price tag, so it should be. Then I have a little Essie cuticle oil that's really old, but you know, it lives in there, so I maybe remember to use it. Sometimes I don't. And then it also has the Embryolisse, it has an English name but I can't find it. I never find it. It's basically their hydrating cream. I use it on the days when I feel like my skin needs a bit more hydration than what the Sunday Riley gives it. Some days it's just a bit more dry and not hydrated enough, and also if I feel like I have a few dry patches, then I apply this in a bit of a thicker layer in the night and let it sink in, and it's beautiful for that. And then the rest is basically just either project pen items or bits that I want to use, like this Kat Von D liquid lipstick. It's in the shade Double Dare, and as you can see, it's a bit broken on the top, on the lid, and it's cracked, so it needs using, and I should chuck it soon because look, it keeps breaking more and more by the day. Wonderful. And then I also have a mascara here that's on its last legs. This is the NYX Badonkadonk That name always cracks me up. Oh, I think this might be a goner. Well, let's see. And then I have a few MAC lip liners in there, just my last two that I want to use up. And I'm pretty sure the rest is all Project Pen items, so we're gonna leave them because who wants spoilers? The next drawer down, again, it's a bit of a miscellaneous bit, so if I move it a bit you can see. So in this acrylic pot, I just keep it here so I can put all my dirty brushes in there, and then once it fills up, that's when I know it's time to wash my brushes. Then I have a few empty pots in the back, and then this container just has some alcohol in there if I want to clean my makeup base or if I want to repress something. It's just a handy little pot. No, it's more like a spray bottle. And then here it's a huge bottle of alcohol, which is basically just in here. In the back I have a little pouch with just some disposables in there, so disposable mascara one, disposable sponges and lip ones and all that sort of stuff that I used to use for my freelance work, but obviously, as I mentioned before, I don't do that anymore. And see, more mascara ones, those should live in there really. And then sometimes on bigger jobs I took that, on other jobs I just had this little, like, I think it used to have like pills in there and stuff. I just took this, and on one side it had lip ones, on the other side it had mascara ones. So it was quite handy to keep everything in there, and I had the sponge on each side. It has some more false lashes that I never really use. And then I have 3 Ben Nye powders here that are amazing but not my shade. The luxury powder in banana, sometimes I can use this in the summer, but at the moment it's definitely too yellow on me. And then I also have topaz and ebony, and if you look at these, they are really well loved. There's barely anything left in there, and I used to have the neutral set for myself as well. Now these ones, if I do more creative makeup, I try to incorporate them, but for now they just live there because I don't know what to do with them and I don't want to throw them away. I also have my Bobbi Brown BBU palette in there. Now this is really expired, but this is about a good £200, and this was one of my first really serious investments in my makeup kit. And if you're freelancing and if you're not cruelty free, this is a genius. I mean, this has all the color correctors and concealers on one end, and these are all the stick foundations on the other end. You have all the shade names as well in case you need them. And this was just so handy. I remember I used to feel so cool and professional because, well, it is. Look at it. And I used to love this. I had a little heart in there just in case if I work with someone on a job, then I know that this is mine because it has a little heart. And I obviously don't use it anymore, not even on myself. It's, oh, the scent is a bit too much as well. Oh, there's another little sticker because this separated the color correctors from the concealers, and that was my way of, you know, telling myself when I was just learning. But yeah, as you can see, it has quite a few dips in there, and it was really well loved while I was freelancing. There's not one single shade that hasn't been used. Well, there is some from the concealers and correctors, but not from the foundations, and even these ones. It's so good. And I just keep this purely for the memories. I can't get myself to throw it away, so it just lives in the back there. And on this side, there's nothing else in the other 3 drawers. It's just some, you know, stationery and art stuff and hair stuff in the bottom. So there's nothing else on this side. So I'm going to move you over to the other side. I think we're going to go through one more drawer, and then that's it for this video. Alright, so in the next top drawer, I basically have all foundations, concealers, setting powders, primers, and then some setting sprays. And then on the side I have this like little, hey camera, this little Kryolan, basically it's a stainless steel palette, which I basically used to use mostly on freelance jobs. I don't really use it at home unless I want to mix like an eyeliner or something. But, you know, it lives there just in case. And then the bits that you barely see on the side are my setting sprays. One of my absolute favorites is the Becca Glow Shield. The bottle is really hard to see, but it's a beautiful hydrating mist. This I think is my 2nd or 3rd bottle. I think 2nd. I love this stuff. It's really nice if you have dry skin. Then I also have the Catrice Prime and Fine Mist. And it's okay. you know, for the days when I don't know, I would not say it's the most long lasting, but it does its job well. I mean, it's almost empty. Of course it does. I do like it, and for the price it's perfect, but you know, it's not like Urban Decay all-nighter. If you have oily skin, that's still the one I recommend for you. I just don't have any on hand at the moment, although my skin I don't think needs it most of the time, but if I would go on a night out, if I had it, that's still the one I would use. And then this is just a mini version of the Tarte Stay Spray. I find that it works, but I think it's more on the hydrating side again. It doesn't really say, I think, here, but I would say again it's more on the hydrating end of setting sprays. It's really nice though. When it comes to foundations, I have a few. One of my absolute favorites is the Becca Skin Love foundation. The only reason why I'm not wearing it lately is because this is not my shade at the moment. This is in the shade Buttercup, and normally I'm buff or vanilla. This is a bit too dark for me at the moment, so that's why I'm not reaching for it as often. But I do love this. It's a nice medium to buildable coverage, and it hydrates the skin as well. So if you have dry skin and then you're struggling to find something that gives proper hydration, this is a good option. Then the next one I have is still from Becca, and it needs a bit of a shake because I haven't used it, I would say, in only a few days actually. This is the Aqualuminous foundation, and this is in the shade Porcelain, which is the lightest shade and is almost too dark for me at the moment, but it does just work. I really like it. It's a really nice light coverage foundation with a really dewy finish. So I think if you're looking for something natural, especially if your skin is more on the dry side, you're gonna really enjoy this. And then another one that I really like lately is the Smashbox 24-hour, is it 24-hour? Yeah, 24-hour Wear Studio Skin Hydrating Foundation. I love this stuff. It's a nice medium to buildable coverage again. It's similar to the Becca Skin Love one. And I have the shade Warm Olive. It's quite yellow, but it's still quite pale. The shade range is quite amazing, so is with the Becca Skin Love. The Aqualuminous has few less shades, but it's a bit more flexible. But this one has an amazing shade range as well, and it works so well. I love the bottle and the pump. It's a really nice gloss. It's a beautiful foundation, and I will definitely repurchase it. Then one that's a really light coverage is a CC BB cream kind of thing. It's the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. It's perfect in the summer if you just want a little bit of coverage but don't want to go makeup free, or even at this time if you want to work from home and just want a bit of evening out. This is beautiful. And then another OG for me at least is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation. I don't even know how many bottles of this I used already. This is in the shade 2, but I usually have the shade 4 as well, which I will definitely purchase once the summer comes closer because that's my summer shade. And I also want to try the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation, but I haven't tried it yet, so that's on the list. But this one is beautiful. I love it. And most of my foundations are high-end. It's just because since I went cruelty-free, I haven't found many options in the drugstore, but I want to try a few from number 7, so that's definitely on the list. But one I have from the drugstore is this Catrice Liquid HD Coverage Foundation. I mean, everyone who's on YouTube knows about this. It's really nice. I do love it. The shade range could be better, but apart from that, I can't really fault it. It's a really nice medium to buildable coverage again. I think that's like my go-to formula usually. And this one is a bit more on the matte side, so if you like really glowy skin, you either need like a really glowy primer under it or mix it in with liquid highlighter. It can be helped, you know, but it's really nice. Then this one, it was in my professional kit and I had it for a long time, but I barely opened it. So I opened it, I tried the formula, I smelt it, it's perfectly fine, and it's the MAC Face and Body. It's not my favorite, but I figured because it's so dark, this is like the shade N7, I was like an N1. I figured that I'm gonna use it as a foundation adjusting drop if I have foundations that are too light for me. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna throw it away because it's not, you know, even though it feels good, I don't want to give it to anyone just because it's still on the older side. But I figured I can use it as darkening drops. And then I also have this one from the Body Shop, which is the light adjusting drops. So this is the white version, and I'm gonna say it has a small like really slight pink tint to it as well, but it does a beautiful job of lightening foundations, or if I want to mix in like a darker highlighter. But yeah, I just use this and then a darker highlighter and then my foundation, mix it all together, which sounds like a lot of work, but you know, for me that's quite normal. I like mixing and matching, and this just does a beautiful job, so I would highly recommend it. I think it's around like £9 or so. It's not too bad considering the amount I use it and how little you need. You literally just need 1 or 2 drops. It's great. And then I have this one, which is the Decleor BB cream. I'm not that keen on it. It's okay. Decleor is a skincare brand and they're cruelty free. They used to be in John Lewis and I think maybe in Debenhams back in the day, but they are quite hard to find now. I'm not sure why. I got this at the beauty clinic where I used to work. I think they had like a light shade as well, which in hindsight would be better for me, but even the formula is not my favorite. So once I use this up, I don't have a lot left of it, then I'm not gonna bother repurchase this. Their skincare is amazing. I raved about that in the future? Goodness. No, I raved about it in the past. But yeah, this one, it's okay, but it's not that great. And then I have really generous sizing of the Smashbox of Warm Olive Studio Skin Foundation. So this is the full coverage foundation. It's just a little tester. I love it, but if you have dry skin, it's not the best. So I only use it every once in a while when I really feel like I need full coverage, which is not too often. And let's move on to the setting powders first in the bag. I only have a few here. So this one is the Becca Soft Night Blurring Powder. And if I open it, you're gonna see it's really pink. Now I poured it out before this way, so I'll try not to. It doesn't look that pink on camera, but in real life it's really pink, which sometimes can be quite nice even used under the eyes to brighten a little bit. It's a wonderful, wonderful powder, and this is an illuminating one as well, so it will give a really nice glow to the skin. Then this one, oh, I love this one. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Powder. The only thing I hate about this is the packaging. When you open it up, it has this little lid, which is great. It keeps the powder in. But on the other end, it has these little dots, which means that even when it's closed, you can't really shake the powder out. So then I always have to shake it in the lid, and then sometimes I use too much and I just waste a lot of it. Also, if you're sensitive, I don't think this whole peach range is for you. It smells so strongly of peach. But the powder itself is beautiful. It's more of a matte finish, but it's not flat. It's beautiful, and you get so much powder in here as well. I think it has, yeah, 35 grams, whereas the Becca has, how many grams? 10 grams, and the packaging is bigger on the Becca one. I love both though. This is more mattifying, this is more illuminating, and I have to say this one has a bit more tint to it, so I don't use as much of that one as with this one, so I find it's a bit harder to go overboard with this. Then one that I'm not too keen on, but I'm not going to throw it away anyway, I will try to find use for it, is the Boutique HD Illuminating Powder. Boutique is the makeup range of Sainsbury's, and it's really cheap, which is not a problem. Their lipstick is quite nice, although it's fairly sheer, but this one, no. Their eyebrow gel though, on the other hand, is really nice, but this one I just don't, yeah, no. Something I love though, and it's really dirty, it's quite old, and I need a lighter shade of this, but I can use this in the summer, is the Urban Decay Powder Foundation. The formula on this is the softest powder you've ever felt. I'm not sure I'm doing this, you can feel it. But it's so soft, it's so buttery, it looks so lovely on the skin. It's beautiful, it gives a bit of extra coverage, so I just need a lighter shade. This one is in the shade Medium Light. Ow, I just hurt my finger. But yeah, if you want a powder foundation, this is beautiful. I only use it as a setting powder though, but I love this. It's amazing. The last two powders I have are the complete opposite end of the price range. I have a mini of the Hourglass Dim Light Ambient Lighting Powder. I think I'm gonna get more use out of this in the summer because at the moment it's just a touch too dark for me. There we go, now the camera focuses. I mean, again, I'm sure if you're watching YouTube, you've seen this many times. I do love this, but I feel like I'm gonna get more use out of this in the summer. And then the other one is a lot more affordable. It's the Essence All About Matte Fixing Powder. Now my packaging falls apart, but I think I used this powder once before. It's really nice. It's a more mattifying powder and you have to be careful not to use too much of it. Otherwise I feel like it can get a bit heavy looking, but as long as you only use a small bit, it's really nice and I would happily repurchase that. Oh, I also have a few like false lashes in the back. It's mostly Eyeliners and more Eyeliners, and I also have an extra of Becca highlighter. This is the Glow Dust highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. Oh my goodness, it's a bit stuck. I'm not sure I can get it out. Oh, there we go. It's still in the box. Maybe I can gift it to someone because I have another one of those. So that's all that just lives in the back. It's bits that I don't have to access too often. If you watched my videos before, you know I'm not that huge on lashes. And then we move on to the next bits. Now my concealers are really Becca heavy, but you know, let's go through them. So this is the Becca Under Eye Setting Powder. It's really fine. I do love it. It brightens a little bit as well. So if you have darkness under your eyes, this can be a really nice option. And it came as a kit with the under eye primer that I prefer to my Smashbox under eye primer. This is a lot more balmy. It feels a lot more hydrating. That one feels a bit more moussey. I said it many times. This one feels a lot more hydrating than that one, so I do prefer this one to that one, but at the moment I want to use up that one first. But these two are full size and they came in a kit with a small size of the under eye brightener, but I also have a full size of that. And I mean, this is well loved. Look at that. I'm not someone who suffers from really bad darkness under my eyes, but some days if I don't have enough sleep, I still need this, and I do love this. Clearly, I used up about half of it already. And these just live here in the back with my concealers. And then let me get these out so I can get through them, and then I can put them back. Let's start with two color correctors. They are both from Urban Decay. And then this is the green one, which is perfect for the days when I have a bit of redness or if I want to use it on top of a pimple. And then the other one used to be in my professional kit and it's the peachy one. Now at the moment it's a bit too dark for me, but I want to see if I can use it to brighten or conceal in the summertime. And both this and the green one are quite old, but because I haven't opened them a lot, they smell and look just fine. So I will keep them just for a little bit longer. Then drugstore concealer wise, I have this one from Catrice, which is the 1 drop coverage concealer. It's really interesting. It comes with a little dropper, which I haven't really seen with concealers often. Look, strange. But it's really nice, and actually I was a bit worried that it might be too heavy because of it has coverage in the name even though it's liquid, but it actually is really nice and it feels quite weightless. I enjoy that one. And then two more from the drugstore are the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. These ones are amazing if you're in the UK and if you're looking for something under your eyes. I have the shade Fair and Extra Fair. I mean, you can see Fair I use a lot more often because the writing is a bit more gone from this. It's a beautiful concealer. It's a cult classic for a reason. Another one that's really good from the drugstore is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer, but that one is a bit harder to get in the UK. But if you're in any other part of Europe, they are great, especially for the price. Oops. And then the rest of them are all high-end. So I have my Tarte Shape Tape that I bought recently, and you know, I'm still learning my ways around it just because I'm not used to any full coverage concealer, but it's beautiful and I love it. I sometimes just use 1 dot on each end and it takes care of everything. Then the rest is from Becca. So one of my absolute favorite concealers, I mean I have 3, is the Aqualuminous concealers. I have here Fair, Porcelain and Light. Porcelain is the lightest. Light is more of my summer shade and it's more the color of my skin usually. I mean, if I'm my most tan, maybe it's just a touch brighter, but not really. And then I can use at the moment, Porcelain is my skin color, but once I get a bit more tanned, it's gonna be more fair. I mean, they are all well loved. I'm not sure how much it comes across on the camera, but I do love these, obviously. I have 3 for a reason. And then I have this one, which is the lightest from Becca. It's the Light Shifter Concealer. And this is more like a hydrating version of the YSL Touche Éclat. I used to have that one as well. That one has a brush applicator at the end. This one have more of a sponge, which I don't find is an issue just because this is not something I would use to conceal pimples. This is more just to bring in brightness under the eyes, and also it hydrates. It actually has hyaluronic acid in there. I said it really funny. Hyaluronic acid. There we go. So I find it's really nice for those no makeup days. I don't use this too often. If I do, I use it in conjunction with the under eye brightener, and it's perfect that way. And that's all my concealers. It's really Becca focused, that drawer. I know. And then we move on to primers. Again, let me get them out and then we can talk about them. So I have here a full-size Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I really like it for the days when I just want a nice glow. It's quite nice by itself as well if I don't want to wear any other makeup. I used to have the First Light as well, which is more hydrating, and when it comes to hydrating primers, it's either the First Light primer or the Smashbox Primerizer. Those two are my favorites. I feel like if your skin is really dry, the Primerizer is a bit better of an option, but the First Light is beautiful as well. Then another one from Becca is the Skin Love Brighten and Blur one. So this is a blurring primer that hydrates, and it's actually silicone free as well. So if you don't want to clog up your pores, this is a nice option. I quite like this. Then when it comes to hydrating ones, this is my only hydrating one at the option, and it's the Tarte Base Tape. It's just a little, I think it's like a deluxe sample. I got it when we were in Sephora and I bought like a few bits, so you got this as a present. I really enjoy this. I would happily use a full size of this, although again, I don't think it beats the primerizer, but you know, it's nice. Then I have a little bit of the Becca Elixir, and I mean, look at that, it's so cute. It's the cutest little thing you've ever seen. It's really nice for brightening and hydrating. Sometimes I use this as a hydrating primer as well, or just as part of my skincare, but I still feel like it has a better spot here. Then I have another Smashbox one. When it comes to primers, I like Smashbox and Becca a lot. That's why you see those here. This one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Stick. And it's a nice blurring one as well. It gives a really nice slip to the skin, and it's really easy to use because it's in a stick form. It's really nice. It's just a clear color as well. It doesn't really give any color, but it's really nice and blurring. I don't think the camera focused at all. Great. Another tiny one I have is the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. Now, when it comes to primers that give glow, I prefer the Becca one, but it's okay. I just don't like this as much as I like that one. Oh, another primer I love that I used to have, but I use it up now, is the Cover FX Blurring Primer. When it comes to blurring primers, I haven't found anything that's better than that one so far. Although this one comes close. This is the Too Faced Primed and Peachy. And this is blurring and keeping the oils at bay as well. So it's helping to keep you matte. Now, I think if you're really oily, it's not going to work, but if you're a combination like me, this is beautiful and I do love it a lot. It's only a travel size, but I think once it's gone, I'm going to buy a full size. And does this have the same smell as the rest of them? I can't remember. Yeah, it has a slight peachy smell to it as well. I'll have to say though as well, the packaging, knowing that this is only a travel size, it feels really luxe, and I only recommend this if you want blurring and slight oil controlling in your T-zone. If your combination, this is beautiful and I love it a lot. But that's it in this drawer. I feel so tired. I feel like I talked a lot. So I'm gonna go now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye! We will finish the rest of the collection then. Yeah, bye.